Welcome to the Chronicles of Randoid, Episode 1. And our next contestant hails all the way from, well, this in and of itself could be a joke, but if I'm correct, this says Sunnyvale Trailer Park on Netflix. Please put your hands together for Shirtless Randy. Shirtless Randy takes the stage, sweating. Giant, huge sweatburger. Just doesn't even know how he's gonna go about it because he's been out of his Leahy for quite a while, and it's been tough. It's been tough on our randoid. He still doesn't have a shirt. He's doing a little bit better. I mean, I think he got a new pair of white denim trousers. But Shirtless Randy takes the stage, so let's prep it a little bit for him. The crowd consists of 3 reptile-faced prostitutes, a 68-year-old jizz-mop boy that we call the janitor, and old man Gus, who runs the popcorn stand, aka the popcorn wizard, who allegedly hasn't washed his hands since he met Jimmy Carter back in '85. When Ditka was king, and Zuba Pants. Oh, they ruled the Dairy Queen. So Shirtless Randy takes the stage. Oh, don't you know? Yeah, I'm sure I'm happy to be here, says Randy. Now the janitor gets in on the action. Hey, shut the fuck up! I can't mop this pile of jizz and listen to your Canucking in Spanish at the same time, says the janitor. At this point, our fabled randoid, our esteemed hero of the Chronicles of Randoid. This is minute 1.5, so this is pretty tough for Randoid. He's got a couple. His crowd consists of some reptiles, a popcorn wizard, and a 68-year-old jizz mop boy. So I mean, it's not fantastic, but first gig, out of the trailer park. What are you gonna do? So, Randy starts getting into it. And says, it sure is great to be here. That's when Gus gets in on the action. Oh, Sonny boy. Oh, I'm sure it's great for you to be here. You like that natural butter flavor, huh? Says the Gustafarian, i.e. popcorn wizard. Randy says, you said there was natural butter flavor, says Randy. Oh, 'twas natural. I've seen it with my one good eye. I seen how you wiped it on the inside of your socks. Randy, stricken with pain, and possibly maybe needing to go to the hospital at this point, pipes back up using, basic, he was flexing his 5-minute authority on the stage, which is not that much. I mean, this is just minute 1.5, and it's not going that good. It's not going that good. Shirtless Randy, he's got the reptiles laughing at him. He's got fucking old man Gus, the popcorn wizard, and the janitor. The janitor looks up, says, I can't mop this jizz puddle. And Randy says, I know, okay, don't you know? So it's not going too good for him. Minute 3. As the torture begins, the pain has to keep coming. Open wounds represent experience, but in this case, for our esteemed colleague, Randoid, which these chronicles are actually about him. Shirtless Randy. So he's trying to get back into it. He's lost the crowd at this point. It's gone. It's gone. He's got to make it 5. He's at minute 1.5. Minute 2. He's got 3 more minutes of this fucking torture. And thing is the reptiles in Reptile Corner feel that there's nothing sweeter than Canadian adrenaline in the bloodstream. They like to make this blood wine out of sweet Canadian blood. So Galexius, the headmaster of headmasters, pipes up, "We need to finish him now." Galexius, who is better, or we'll go into that later when we get into the MacGyver part of this story, which I'll give you a little preview. MacGyver lost his jacket, which is his only superpower, basically, for MacGyver. I mean, you got fucking 3-4 fucking toothpicks and, a couple rubber bands and shit, but they're in your jacket, so you lose the jacket, that's it. You're fucked. He had this thing with this 3-legged midget named Pappy that lives behind the dumpster over by the Waffle House. So, but that's a whole nother story. And anyways, so Randy's up there, he's got his white denim trousers, and Galexius says, "We need to finish him now. He's gonna spot the blood wine." Galexius, on the other hand, is incapable of even making a similar vintage out of a Nova Scotian altar boy. So he's got his issues here. He's still a reptilian faced prostitute. So I mean that's not a bad thing. He's in the game. He's a player. He's not like Riptorian, headmaster of headmasters. That doesn't mean he's the boss. But because they're all headmasters, like they like to cut people's heads off and fucking drink their blood. That's what they do. They're reptiles. They've been here for a long time. But they really like Canadian blood wine. So that's, my facts could be wrong on that. And, if somebody wants to contact me about reptilian blood wine, that's okay. But basically, you want the adrenaline to be flowing the whole time, and Randy he's starting to get an attitude up there. We're at minute 3 now. So, minute 3. Shirtless Randy, covered in his hairy gerbil self and presumably sweat beads, almost cheeseburger side, He's shaking like a griddle, a burger on a griddle. It's tough. Gustafarian, popcorn wizard, starts to chime in now, and he says, "Oh, sonny boy," and Randoid gets a little bit, he gets a little bit. He's about to take his pants off. He's getting pissed. It's not working out. And they're really fucking ribbing him hard. And this is his first gig as a stand-up comic after leaving Trailer Park Boys. So, and this is an old theater that, basically there's only 4 people there. Well, there's the announcer, there's the Gustafarian, the popcorn wizard, the janitor, and then the reptiles, but they are transcendental, so that basically sometimes there's 2 or 3 of them, and sometimes there's a whole corner of them because they can't exist on this level. They're on a higher vibrational frequency, is what I'm told. So they don't have to pay for their tickets either, because they can just, boom, get in there and fucking get out. It's an old porno theater. It's in San Francisco. It's a real fucking dark place. Hunter S. Thompson, I think, was going to be the night manager. He was going to write a book called The Night Manager about this place. So Randy gets up there. He's back up. We're looking at minute 3. The excitement is fucking scant and nil. But the Reptile Nation pit crew in the corner, or wherever the fuck they transpose themselves to, they're ready, and they want to take them down. They want that Canadian blood wine. It's better than a Super Bowl hot dog wrapped in a World Series bingo wing, and tastes better than a crusty San Francisco Crunch Puppy wrapped in Dust Puppy Pop-Tarts with pumpernickel cracklings on the side. True story. And Randy, he's on the tapas menu. So, as we get a little bit down the road here, and this is, granted, you only get 5 minutes on this stage. And nobody really knows who the last comedian was, because he was, again from Canada, and they recruit Canadians to come down and work on this stage in this old porno theater with a bunch of reptiles, a fucking popcorn wizard, and a 68-year-old fucking jizz mop boy. which I'll clue you in on the janitor in a little bit. But for sake of the story. So Randy starts getting into it, and then Gus pipes up a little bit, starts getting a little mouthy, and starts thinking don't you know? Randy just lays into this motherfucker. He lays into it like a leopard into a fucking adrenaline gland. Just bam, getting it. He says, "Who fucking died and made you king? Did you pull those gold-rimmed sunglasses off fucking the king's fat shit-stained body?" At this point, the reptile slither, that's usually braggadocious, has come to a distant hum. There's been a little bit of a shift. Randoid is starting to he's starting to do okay up there. But, I mean, no one's laughing. There's no one there to laugh. I don't know if reptiles laugh or not. I've never met fifth-dimensional, transdimensional fucking reptilian people. Supposedly they exist in porno theaters, and they work for the CIA and shit like that, and live underground underneath the caves of Altamira in France. But, that's all speculation as well. So Randoid, he's starting to hold his own. You know what I mean? We're approaching minute 4.5. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. The janitor. And Randoid lock eyes. He knows that's his new Leahy. There was a cobiotic semblance that even made the reptiles a little bit jealous. Now, on the fifth-dimensional planet that the reptiles hail from, it's a crime and a shame to partake in the wrong kind of vintage Canadian blood wine. You can't scare them. They have to be scared on their own. That's just how it is. That's how the adrenaline gets released, and that's what happens. So, I mean, any high-ranking reptilian prostitute can release a life-altering DNA batch of Bacta-chud. But Galexius pipes in once again. "We need to finish him now." Riptorian gives him the look. He says, well, he doesn't really say much because he's the fucking headmaster of headmasters. You don't fucking say anything. You're a fucking reptile, dude. You use telepathy and shit. You take over people's minds, and that's all there is to it. So, exiting reptile fluid from a pelvic center in his mid-body, Galexius sprays Randoid. Sprays him hard. Tries to fucking scare him. Tries to get that adrenaline going, real well. So, our fabled Randy has no choice but to take his pants off. Yeah, he's pissed now. Standing there, covered in cheeseburger sweat, reptile vomit. But no fear. They knew that they spoiled the batch. Amidst a purplish gray, foamy cloud of presumably smoke, but it could be something else, our announcer comes out. Minute 5. And we're back. Let's all give a big hands up, fuck you, and don't tip for Shirtless Randy. The janitor, enticed by the tenacity of our hero, basically, says, well, he doesn't say it yet. I'm sorry, that's a typo. So, basically, Randoid, covered in reptile vomit, cheeseburger sweat, and the fear of basically maybe getting his blood drank by reptiles, picks up his treasured white denim trousers and heads for the door. The janitor cuts him off. "Hey, shit bilge! You shit-petered your shit wagon on a shit canoe all the way to Shitsville past shit Peterburg." Randy says, "I was doing the best I can, The janitor, with a look like, it was pretty tough to see. But basically, there was a tall, wispy fellow with the gait of a sherry bottom apple pie, with the crust cut off, respectively. Neat. He was there too, which is basically, he was MacGyver. MacGyver hangs out in this porno theater too for some reason. We don't know fucking why he was there, but this is an alternate MacGyver universe where he doesn't have the jacket anymore, so he can hang out there. You know, if he's got the jacket, they'd say, we're not letting MacGyver into our porno theater. Get the fuck out of here and go be MacGyver, you know? Fuck, have some respect for MacGyverism. Any MacGyverist knows that kind of shit, you know. But, you know, he basically lost out on his MacGyver key, which was his jacket. So, you know, Randoid, our fabled, esteemed hero, is walking towards the door, and the janitor grins at him like a vulture at a Himalayan funeral, waiting for the sky birth. Knows what's next. Looks him right in the eye. Says, son, you looking for a job?